What is up, my friends? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. As I'm sure you're aware, I'm not a very happy bunny right now, but I'm not expecting you to be either, because what we are seeing from this group of Liverpool players quite simply just hasn't been good enough. Now, I guess the big questions we all have are: one, will we get reinforcements in midfield in this window? Two, does our manager really believe that we need reinforcements in this window? And three, will the owners cough up the money to bring in reinforcements in this window? There is a lot for us to get through. And as always, I want to start off with a little bit of kidology, a little bit of me messing about. You know, you've probably wondered about the title of tonight's video and you're thinking, hang on a minute here, Craig. What do you mean Klopp showing us true colours? He's a Yankee. Big Yankee fan, apparently, Kloppo. I mean, look, 99.99% there's nothing in that. That was Jurgen Klopp of the under-21s game, or down at the academy earlier on today. The 99% there's nothing in that. But I like to think that Klopp is kind of throwing a bit of shade at FSG, who are the owners of, yep, you got it, the Boston Red Sox, fierce rivals of the New York Yankees. So, yeah, well played, Kloppo. That's what the title of tonight's video meant. Yes, it was a bit of a cheap shot from us, but hey, sometimes we just gotta put them out there. But we do have some actual stuff to go through. And look, if we can push aside yesterday's game against Wolves for a second, and I know it's not easy to do, because like me, you're probably still fuming about it. One, honestly, I don't think we should be in the FA Cup. I don't think we should be in the next round. To me, Wolves won that game yesterday and they should be in the draw for the next round without us. So I'm sure you're aware the draw has been made, and whoever wins the replay between Wolves and Liverpool will take on Brighton away in the next round of the FA Cup. But there is a little bit of transfer gossip. But let's start off with some positive stuff, because hell, we don't get much of it these days as Liverpool fans, do we? And Josko Gvardiol has admitted that it would be a dream for him to come and play for Liverpool Football Club, that it is his dream club. Now, what does that mean? Probably nothing, in all honesty, because I don't believe FSG and Jurgen Klopp are going to go out and pay the rumoured 85 million quid it would take to get him from Leipzig. But it's nice to know that he thinks so fondly of the club, and I know we as Liverpool fans certainly think very fondly of him and his performances. So maybe, you never know. If we add this to the point that I think it was Gabby Agbonlahor, somebody said to me, mentioned on TalkSport, that he'd sell Joe Gomez if he was at Liverpool right now. And 99% of the time, I will not agree with a word that comes out of Gabby Agbonlahor's mouth. But on this one, I've got to admit, I would. I know he's just signed a new deal, but I'd sell him because I just don't see it in Joe. I just don't see it anymore. And I don't like his body language as well. It might be because he's a laid back kind of guy, and that's fair enough, but I'm just not seeing it with him. So on that one, I kind of agree. And if I could help raise some funds towards bringing in another really, really top-notch centre-back, then so be it. Look, people are going to have digs at me and other Liverpool fans over the next few weeks and months. But the truth is, we're all hurting right now. And we all want to find solutions. And unfortunately, some of those solutions will probably end up with Klopp having to be ruthless. And I guess we need to lead the way as well as fans and be honest about what we're seeing. Curtis Jones was in the under-21s today. He was part of the team that lost to Spurs. I don't know if that's a punishment. I don't know what it is, but it's where he belongs right now because he isn't good enough. Add to that the performances that we've seen yesterday from our midfield, Thiago included, just not good enough. It's pathetic. And when you see it and the manager clearly sees it, well, what does that leave us with? It leaves us with questions, and it leaves us with wanting to bring in reinforcements. Now, I've seen two things today. One of them a little bit reasonable. The other one absolutely drove me demented. So let's start off with the reasonable one. And that's been reported by DM Lynch, who says that Daily Mail's Lynch, I believe, is the journalist. I don't know what his first name is off the top of my head. Liverpool expect Moses Caicedo to end up at Chelsea. That's understandable, genuinely, because I've always thought that's where he's going to end up. 65-70 million seems to be the number that Brighton would accept for Caicedo. And it's long been thought that Chelsea were going to be his destination. And the reason for that being is, as much as Liverpool, we do need a midfield rebuild, and hopefully it starts this month, But we do need to be careful as well because we're losing homegrown players at the end of the season. So we're losing James Milner, we're losing Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. They're two homegrown spots that Liverpool have to find players for. The obvious answer to that is, of course, Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham, homegrown. Jude Bellingham, the one that I keep telling you is the club's number one target and will end up at the club if FSG, and I'm hoping they're not at the helm at this point, but that FSG pay the money. Other than that, I don't believe, and I've never believed, any of the guff coming out of Real Madrid end or Manchester City. For me, it has always been clear. But I'm not here to talk about Bellingham today. I want to just talk to you lastly about something else that comes from the Mail. And that is that Liverpool would apparently be open to signing a midfielder on loan this month if the right player becomes available. Now look, this is just a newspaper report. It isn't actual factual information. But if they've been briefed that in any way, it's appalling. It's shocking. It's not good enough. Look at what's happened to us in previous cases where we've gone and solved a crisis with a loan. Kabak, Davies, not good enough. Davies, although was a full-time signing, never really got any minutes and moved on. Kabak, we didn't trigger the option to make that deal permanent, or we didn't make the deal permanent. Now we've got Arthur Melo, who came in and has already missed the whole half of the season with an injury and is working his way back. But ultimately, he won't be good enough. We know that. Klopp knows that. Hence the reason we didn't want to insert the buy-in clause, the buy-in option in that deal from Juventus. It was at Juventus insistence that was put in. So again, it leaves us with more questions than answers. How can a football club be so blind to their deficiencies that they're willing to risk an entire season? John W. Henry and all these other owners or members of FSG, they can sail off into the sunset. They can go on their yachts. They can go to their other toys and their other shiny things and the Red Sox, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the like. But we Liverpool fans are going to suffer the repercussions of this lack of investment for years to come. So Jurgen Klopp made us a promise when he came to the football club that he will leave the club in a better place than when he arrived. He has succeeded in doing that, but FSG have not succeeded in their part because Jurgen Klopp did his bit. He signed his extension. Now it's over to FSG to support him properly or disappear, and we need to start getting vocal about it. I'm not somebody who ever likes to urge people to let their feelings be known, to urge people to shout and make noise and bang and, pound social media with stuff. But this has to stop. Every transfer window, FSG are taking us for idiots. They're taking us for mugs. They're briefing friendly journalists about what will happen in future windows. And for some reason, some of our fan base, through red-tinted glasses and wanting the best, I'm not accusing anybody here of being an idiot, but they believe it. They believe it because they want to see the best in people. And that's not always a bad thing. But once bitten, twice shy. And I'm at the point now where I'm sick of it. I don't want to listen to anything John W. Henry or Tom Werner has to say. I want to see action. Whether that action is them selling up and going off into the sunset, or whether it's them backing Jurgen Klopp. Something needs to happen because we are on a highway to nowhere right now. We'd be lucky to be in any European football the way things are going. And it's not going to get better with regards to injuries. It's only going to get worse. We know Thiago will pick up a knock. We know Keita will most likely pick up a knock. We know that Henderson already starts to get little muscle strains and stuff, and Milner as well. Curtis Jones isn't good enough. Need I go on? Our midfield is basically one man, Fabinho, and he's not up to it at the minute, although he has been showing some signs of improvement. So it just isn't good enough, and we as fans need to start calling it out. It is as simple as that. That is my video tonight. It is just my opinion of the shambles that is our club at the minute and who is responsible for it. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video and of course hit that subscribe button for me. Much love, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Take care.